underneath the DJ, lays it in. Right up, one second left. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. Oh, wow. In your life have you seen anything like that? No. Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk the sports and other stuff like SummerSlam. Speaking of which, what do you get when you take an immortal dead man who keeps making mistakes in the ring? The Blunder Maker. Get it, guys? Like The Undertaker, a very famous wrestler. That was another wordplay.
Yeah, well, I get it.
And if you don't get it, you can eat my shorts and floss with my undies.
That's disgusting.
I'm Bobby Tamburro, and here's your host, the star of the program, the lovely Eastside Dave McDonald.
Oh, man, thank you all for joining us on the Davey Mac Sports Program Monday, August 4th, 2025. Roy Harter is on a secret mission. He let Robert and I know only 7 minutes before the broadcast. When Roy Harter lets you know only 7 minutes before the broadcast, hey, guys, I have to attend to a very important mission, then we can only say good luck, Roy. Good luck with whatever's happening. There's always odds on it being a visit to the methadone clinic. There are odds on maybe a Colombian gang trying to finally take him out. And then there are odds on, former landlords of Roy's who are going to hunt him down. And I wish Roy all the best of luck as he is now on the lam. But he says he will be returning to the Davey Mac Sports Program next week. And we are doing this on Monday because, we usually do the show either Sundays or Mondays. And I was trying to do the show yesterday, but I was like, there's no point. I'm trying to fit in so much shit because yesterday, Stanley Mack and I, my co-host from the Eastside Davidson Wrestling Show, we went to SummerSlam, Robert.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Every storyline seemed to be just leading up for Sunday, so you got to be there at the big SummerSlam event.
Not only were we there, the seats were incredible. I didn't pay for them, so I don't want any goddamn Davey Mac fans saying, how are you? I didn't pay for them. They were given to me. And I'm just
we don't want to accuse you of pulling a Bobo here. Where you're asking for money and then at all the big games.
Right. No, yeah. No, that's I would put my money towards let's see, housing. Fixing my car before it breaks down. Those are two things that I'm putting all of my money. I'm saving up and I'm getting ready to put my money towards those two things, those two adventures. But I want to show the people some SummerSlam pictures. I want to show them Stanley Mack and I at SummerSlam. It was very beautiful. We had a great time. My God, could not ask for more perfect weather. Look at that. Wow. 77 degrees in New Jersey. And they called it SummerSlam New Jersey because even though it was done in MetLife, which is in East Rutherford, New Jersey, oftentimes when you're at the Meadowlands or you're at the Prudential Center, they just call it New York because you're like 15 minutes outside of New York City. So they never give Jersey any respect. So the fact that they call it SummerSlam New Jersey was actually quite surprising. And I was happy with that, actually, as a proud New Jerseyan. Next picture, please.
Next picture.
The next picture that you will see is John Cena carrying Cody Rhodes. And then what he did, Robert, he gave him an attitude adjustment where he flings Cody Rhodes up off his shoulders, many feet in the air. Cody Rhodes lands on his back, breaks nearly every bone in his body. Show the next picture, please. The aftermath. There's Cena after delivering an attitude adjustment, Look at us. That's where we were. We were
Holy
on the
shit.
ramp.
I thought these were WWE picks. This is so good, Dave.
We were towards the front of the ramp. So
Oh
it
my
was,
God.
the seats were unbelievable. Next picture, please. There's Cody on the ground. He's right in front of us.
God, you could have kissed him. You're so close.
I thought about kissing him, and I'm
I
not
bet
even
you
gay.
did.
But I just thought, right now, we've had fans try to beat up wrestlers, do something. We've never had a fan try to kiss just pleasantly, like a Prince Valiant, Snow White type of deal.
Yeah, you were trying to wake him up. You were his one true love.
Just a nice, beautiful little kiss. Nothing dirty, nothing sexual, just something. And then next picture, Robert, and here's where you're going to get shocked.
No way.
Machine Gun Kelly, at least in my opinion, Machine Gun Kelly was sitting two rows in front of us, because 2 rows in front of us was like the first row of this specific floor section. We were on the floor. It was amazing seats. And he was with a chick. Now, it wasn't Megan Fox. So I need to know, to all the Davey Mac Sports Program people out there, was this Machine Gun Kelly? The fact of the matter is, multiple people took pictures with this guy and his lady friend. But his lady friend did not appear to be Megan Fox. So then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, is this some sort of rock star who wants to look like Machine Gun Kelly? Because they were definitely famous because multiple people took pictures with this guy.
That's crazy.
Right?
It does look like him.
That has to be it. And he had tattoos on the face.
Were they blacked out? His arms? Were his arms blacked out? That's his new move.
He was wearing long sleeves, I think.
Fuck.
Yeah, he had long sleeves and like a leather jacket. He was dressed like a rock star. He wanted to be all rock starred out.
Okay. I could see
I
that.
don't know. I know that if it wasn't Machine Gun Kelly, he's still another D-list celebrity because people were taking pictures with the kid.
There are so many of those like emo-y Xanax singers right now because of TikTok that blow up. It could be one of them. They all kind of look like recycled versions of Machine Gun Kelly. Like when you're playing a video game and you choose slightly different tattoos and you're like, nobody will know.
There were multiple people. They got up, they asked for pictures, but it's true. I also thought he wasn't as tall as I thought Machine Gun Kelly is. I'm not saying this guy was short, but I thought Machine Gun Kelly was supposed to be tall.
Yeah, I think he's like your height.
Yeah, I was sitting down, so I couldn't really gauge, but
now,
I don't know.
Did you start just throwing out like Machine Gun Kelly lyrics? Like, bitch, I'm from that land. And then see if he would turn around and be like, till I die. And you're like, MGK.
The problem is I wouldn't actually know any of the Machine Gun Kelly lyrics, my friend. No, he did welcome to my, he actually did a wrestling song that I actually liked, and I put it on my wrestling music playlist, which was welcome to my house, baby, take the clothes off, we don't have to go. But he doesn't even sing the chorus. The chorus is the best part of that song.
Yeah, I mean, you could go two ways with him. You could have done his rap career, which I know you're not a fan of. But he also has recently ventured into the pop punk sphere. So
no, I know.
Like,
it's no. The
want me
guys,
to forget you. And then he would be like, I want you to forget me too.
The guy's tried country as well. He's tried every musical genre because he stinks in everything he does.
Yeah, I was going to say he succeeded in every musical genre, but I guess we're going to have a difference of opinions here, Dave.
I don't think he has succeeded.
Are you dating Megan Fox? Am I dating Megan Fox? Then I think he wins.
I mean, what about her little creepy thumbs that everyone talks about?
At least they work. I'm batting 50% with the chicks I talk to, Dave.
He got little tiny thumbs. There was and here's the other thing that I was hysterical at SummerSlam. When we're walking out, some guy was wearing a Sam Roberts t-shirt. I felt like throwing a soda cup at the back of his head. Not because I have any jealousy or anger or anything like that. It was just I just felt like starting stuff.
Yeah.
Like for fun. That's
of course. Yeah, just for fun. It is funny.
Can you imagine wearing a shirt of a commentator of the thing that you like? Like, instead of me going to a Yankees game wearing Aaron Judge, I'm wearing a t-shirt with Michael K's face on it. I mean, that would be a little weird.
That would be a little weird. You start walking around wearing a Doris Burke shirt to NBA games. What are we doing here?
As famous as John Madden was, if John Madden's doing the Super Bowl, you know, if it was the 49ers versus the Bengals in 1989 or 88 or whatever, no one's wearing John Madden. They're going to wear Joe Montana or Boomer Esiason. They're not going to have a John Madden. It was strange to me. But regardless, wonderful t-shirt.
I'm not quite the enthusiast you or Stan are of wrestling. And you said something about an attitude adjuster.
Attitude adjustment, that's John Cena's move.
Is it true that he initiated that like from the trailer parks because that's what they would do to give their girlfriends a better attitude?
Are you saying John Cena is a domestic violence?
No. I just know a lot of wrestling fans live in trailer parks, so he might go, I'm going to take something from your culture.
That's hard. I mean, come on. A lot of wrestling fans. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Okay. What would you spend the money on if you had tickets?
I mean, I didn't spend the money.
No, that's what I'm saying. You said you would buy a house. You fit into that category.
Tickets were a gift. Now, the New York Yankees, I'm done. The New York Yankees just got swept, ladies and gentlemen, by the Florida Marlins. Since interleague play began, which I believe was 97, okay? Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was 97. I remember Yankees Mets around that time. 97, 98 is when I believe interleague play began. And so we're now talking 27, 28 years of interleague play. Okay. The the Miami Marlins have never, ever swept the Yankees. Though they did beat the Yankees in the 2003 World Series, they didn't sweep them until this season, until this past weekend. Thank God I was at SummerSlam because the Yankees make me sick to my stomach. On Saturday, Yankees trail 2-0 in the ball game. All right. I got to set it up because on Friday, the Yankees had a 6-0 lead. They let 4 runs come in. Okay. Then Trent Grisham hits a 3-run home run, extends the Yankees lead, re-extends the Yankees lead back to 9-4.
Okay.
The bullpen, they get 3 bullpen guys at the trade deadline. All right. They went and got 3 bullpen dudes. They bring all 3 into the game, and all 3 give up 6 runs so that the Marlins take a 10-9 lead over the Yankees on Friday. The guy who's been insanely criticized, including by me, Anthony Volpe, actually does something good for a change. Hits a game-tying solo home run in the 8th, and then is part of a rally in the 9th in which the Yankees get 2 runs and lead 12-10. Okay, surely in this crazy game, the Yankees aren't going to blow 3 leads, a 6-0, a 9-4, and then a 12-10 lead in the bottom of the 9th. They're not going to blow 3.
No.
Guess what happened? They blew it. They brought in yet another new reliever who gives up 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and the Yankees lose 13-12. So you're sitting there going, a game where the Yankees scored 12 runs, they can't win. The next day on Saturday, they pitch well, then they can't hit. But okay, hey, all we need is a bloop in the blast, right? Jazz Chisholm gets on first base. All we need now is a jack, tie up the game 2-2. Next guy gets up, pop up to second base. Oh, boy. All right, well, that's 2 outs. Oh, wait, what's Jazz Chisholm doing? Why is Jazz Chisholm 15 feet off of first base on an infield pop-up to the second baseman? I don't know. But what happened was the second baseman caught the ball, threw it to first like any little leaguer would do, and they doubled up Jazz Chisholm.
He almost seemed surprised. Like he was just throwing it to first out of habit that he got him.
Insanely enough. He was asked about this after the game. He said, I would do it again because I thought the guy was going to drop the ball and go for a double play. On what planet does the base runner ever assume a guy is going to intentionally make an error? And also, Jazz, that is not your responsibility. That is the guy who hit the pop-up. He needs to be hustling the first. So if the guy does drop the ball and he throws it to second for a little double play, they don't have a chance. And the guy was kind of, I think it was Wells, was shuffling over to first base. They weren't going to do it. You never run the bases with, well, I thought the guy was going to drop the ball on purpose. That was my reasoning. And if it happened again, I would do it again. He actually said that after the game. If it happened again, I'd do it. Jazz Chisholm has hit well. Aaron Boone needs to now bench people every time something like this happens. I'm talking about in the game. You take out Jazz Chisholm the second it happens, and he doesn't play the next day. And you have a talk then after that next day, and you say, you want back in? Is this ever going to happen again? In the last month, folks, we've had multiple Yankees, Austin Wells and Trent Grisham, being tagged out for wandering off of second base because they thought it was 3 outs when it was really 2. So they're just walking around and the infielders tagged them. We have seen so many base running errors, so many mental errors, and so much defensive errors. There is no justifying Aaron Boone's job anymore. I was almost one of the last people to be calling for Boone's job. I've always been fire Brian Cashman. Everyone knows this. I hate Brian Cashman. And Cashman has sufficiently destroyed this team because he's always looking for a way to cut corners. He's always looking for a way to say, we'll save a little cash here. We'll get this guy. Look at his OPS. He's always going to take some secondary or tertiary stat to justify his nonsense. You know what, baseball? Get back to the Triple Crown stats. You know how you judge a good baseball player? Their batting average, their home runs, their RBIs. Sorry, not sorry. That still is the best metric. It is. Anyone who does well in those stats, they're the people who are on the All-Stars, the All-Star teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one makes an All-Star team because their OPS is through the roof or their on-base percentage is through the roof. No one makes the All-Star team because of that. They make the All-Star team because of hitting, batting, and RBIs. Because that is the definition of a good baseball player or a good offensive baseball player.
Absolutely. And you can tell Dave's upset because he busted out the word tertiary. That's how frustrated you are.
I'm frustrated.
Fucking SAT words.
Well, it's the same meaning as secondary.
But one more. That was impressive.
One more, third.
Yeah. No, I'm giving you props where props are due. If only there was some rule to protect Jazz so he doesn't have to be the one to decide what happens when there's a bloop fly ball to the infield. If only there was some universal rule.
Yeah, I mean,
that you learned in fucking T-ball.
Not understanding that there's an infield fly rule is so bizarre. Everything about this play was so confounding, so genuinely bewildering that he not only gets doubled off of first base on a pop-up to the second baseman, but after the game, he doubles down and say he would do it again because he was anticipating the second baseman to drop it. No one plays the game that way. No one.
No, literally. That's why Aaron Boone's there. Because if he does drop that on purpose and gets a double play out of it, then Boone goes and screams about that there should have been an infield
Aaron Boone, by the way, is feeling it. For the first time ever, we saw him in the dugout and in front of cameras. He was kind of yelling at Jazz a little bit, and he was taking out on the first baseman. So he knows. You can tell that Aaron Boone, for the first time in his Yankee tenure, is now finally starting to feel the heat. He is on the hot. He should have been on the hot seat 3 years ago. I mean, Aaron Boone, folks, do people understand that the Yankees are now in third place?
They were winning 2 weeks ago.
They're in third now. They're a game and a half behind the Red Sox for second. Forget about first place. They're 4.5 or 5 games behind the Blue Jays for first. What are we doing?
They lost the season series to the Blue Jays, so that's not good.
This is not a joke anymore. The organization needs some fresh faces and fresh voices. This regime clearly cannot get it done. Aaron Boone is not the guy to manage this team, and Brian Cashman has lost it. He has not been a good general manager in the last 8 years. I will give 2016 his last decent year, a year which the Yankees missed the playoffs, but in which, because they were going to miss the playoffs, he made some good trades at the trade deadline that immediately led to the Yankees' success in 2017, and they were cheated out of a World Series by the Houston Astros that year. But c'est la vie. What happened, happened.
Speaking of that, did you see the Astros pitcher who intentionally let a guy steal third because he was stealing his signs, then after the inning tried to fight the guy for stealing his signs?
I didn't see it, but I heard about it, and I thought that was hysterical.
Of all the teams, Dave. Now, you said you got 3 new relievers in the bullpen?
Yeah.
Did you guys have like a Super 6 celebration for each one as they came out like Philadelphia did with their new closer?
No, we didn't do nothing.
I've only seen that video 350,000 times in the past 2 days. We get it. He's a closer. His name's Spanish. It means fire and spider. Ooh. Like, just what happened to baseball being baseball? Guy comes in from drinking a beer in the bullpen, spits out his tobacco.
Well, everyone's doing
half shuffles
Mariano.
out.
No,
Yeah,
I know, but
stop doing it.
Mariano's Enter Sandman was one of the coolest moments ever. And then once that started, you had then Trevor Hoffman of the Padres do Hell's Bells. And then every single closer had to have their own WWE entrance music.
If I was a closer, I'd hit him with like Pink Pony Club. Just something they weren't ready for. I'd come out riding the pink horse.
Well, the Yankees used to have this really funny looking golf cart that was shaped like a baseball to bring in the relievers. But I think they don't do it anymore because it sort of made it made the relievers look a little weak. Like it made them look like old people.
Yeah, and like the era of the reliever being like a, Bartolo Colon or a CC Sabathia type isn't as round as much anymore. They can do the job.
They weren't relievers. They were starters. I can't let the Davey Mac Sports Program give out misinformation.
Sorry, unathletic looking pitchers in general.
Fair.
Is over. It's more about being in shape. Like, guys can jog from the bullpen is the point I was making.
No,
thank you for catching me. I didn't want to look like an idiot.
You got to come up with some relievers, please.
Like fat relievers? That might be tougher.
It's tough. I'm trying to think. Yankees had some. Well, Mike Stanton was a little chubby back in the day. All right.
Thanks.
That's it. The Yankees, though, look, I don't know what to say. They cannot be okay with missing the playoffs. They're on a trajectory right now, folks, to miss the playoffs. They can't be missing. They just missed the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, in 2023. This would be the 3rd time Aaron Boone has missed the playoffs. Unacceptable.
Yeah, that's not good.
Robert, do you know how many times in his, started in 96. He went to 2007. But okay, so 11 years, but 12 seasons. Do you know how many times in 12 seasons Joe Torre missed the playoffs?
I'm going to say 0.
The answer is 0.
It's almost like Joe Torre's a better manager.
0. But Aaron Boone's on the precipice of missing the playoffs 3 times in 8 years. Joe Torre, 12 seasons, 0. 8 seasons, 3. Yeah, this is the absolute best piece of evidence with which you can present to everyone else and say the Yankees organization has faltered. That the Yankees right now are a lesser organization, and they are, quite frankly, a lesser quality, low quality organization. And it for the first time in maybe 50 years, I think you would have to go back to the late 60s, early 70s, pre-George Steinbrenner buying the team to see the Yankees this low. But that's where the Yankees are. They are low.
They're almost like the little brother of New York.
Now, it's funny that ESPN is so high and mighty on themselves that they love getting on a pedestal and telling people how to think, look, feel, vote, act. I've never seen a company go from just showing sports highlights to now being one of the most sermonizing channels on television. And I think sermonizing should be saved for the religious channels, not necessarily for the sports channels. Well, all high and mighty ESPN, the network that, oh man, they must be the most pious people ever. Because remember, folks, they're constantly telling us all how to live. And they're constantly saying, hey, you're wrong. And you're this and you're that. Andy, if you're mad at how the WNBA treats Caitlin Clark, you're mad. You're racist or something. Or you're bigoted, or you're this, you're that. Maybe ESPN should look themselves in the mirror. Maybe ESPN should just worry about their own house instead of telling the rest of America how to live and how to think. Because in last week alone, the show First Take, Robert, right? With Stephen A. Smith?
Yep.
His co-host, Shannon Sharp, had to reach a settlement with an OnlyFans girl who claimed she was raped by Shannon Sharp. He reached a settlement and has been fired by ESPN. But that's not all. Another First Take guy, Gilbert Arenas, former NBA All-Star.
Agent Zero.
Yeah. And now a contributor on ESPN and on First Take. Arrested for being in an illegal gambling ring. Prosecutors say Gilbert Arenas allowed his mansion to be used for high-stakes poker games. Even hired a staff. So he was pulling a Sopranos. He was running a poker game. I wonder if Frank Sinatra Jr. was there.
I'm guessing fucking Michael Jordan was there. like,
yeah, that's true.
That's what they do.
But that's not all.
But wait,
After
there's
that,
more.
Marcus Morris, ESPN contributor and First Take contributor, Marcus Morris, who last played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, arrested for sending bad checks to Las Vegas companies. So 3 ESPN employees and all 3 who also are contributors to First Take, they're either arrested or fired by ESPN. And this cable network, ESPN, has the audacity to tell anyone how to live or to comment on society or to be. Just shut up already and get back to sports and fire every single Sports Center anchor who makes it about themselves and where they went to college and what hobbies they're into rather than the highlights on the screen. Thank you.
I couldn't agree with you more. Like, who is your ideal ESPN personality?
Back in the day, Dan Patrick or Charlie Steiner.
For me, it was the Schwab. That
Chris
everybody
Berman,
tried.
fine.
No, Stump the Schwab. The Schwab. Do you remember him?
Oh, the
guy.
I thought you meant the Swami.
A sports savant who knew. You know what I mean? Like, that's what people tuned in for. I don't care if you're a nerd and you love stats. Just make it about the sport, not about your love of stats.
The craziest Dan Patrick would get is, so if some guy started hitting, 6 threes in a row on a basketball highlight, he would say, "En fuego."
Yeah, exactly.
That's, and that's all. That's as crazy as he would get is that the guy's on fire in Spanish. Like,
let the sport speak for itself.
They could be funny. Charlie Steiner was really funny. Dan Patrick could be really, really funny, but it was picking and choosing the spots. These days, the Sports Center anchors, especially those 2 douchebags who, we have showcased on this program a few times, those guys are all about themselves. Those guys are so desperate to be, I don't know. They clearly don't want to be just regular Sports Center anchors. They want to be in comedy or doing something.
Yeah, they're like, sports is my way into entertainment, not the other way around.
Yeah, that's annoying to me.
It's the worst. I will say, I do have to speak up a little bit for Gilbert Arenas. I feel like of all the crimes committed, rape, sending bad checks and defrauding people, or just letting people gamble at your mansion, one of those isn't like the others.
No, I know. I mean, but at the same time, ESPN and Fox Sports, they're looking for programming. And apparently Fox Sports has made a deal with Barstool.
Yes.
And they want to make a deal with Barstool. They want to counter program Pat McAfee. I don't know what else to tell ESPN and sports, Fox Sports, except if you actually want to counter program Pat McAfee, it's the Davey Mac Sports Program and only the Davey Mac Sports Program. Give us a studio, give us equipment, give us facilities, give us production, and you will see us dominate every sports show in the market, period.
Give us drugs. That'll help too.
Did you say give us drugs?
Yeah.
Hey, yesterday at SummerSlam, and there was some clouds of marijuana smoke from time to time.
Oh, nice.
I was happy to see that because that's really long gone. I mean, I remember seeing, Pink Floyd, the Division Bell, in 1995 at Giant Stadium. And it was just like, there was a haze over the entire stadium.
Oh, so you're saying it was a haze at WrestleMania?
No, I'm saying there were some traveling clouds, but at least we're getting back on track.
Yeah, we're getting, because I mean, you remember last summer we were at that very stadium, and you and I smoked a joint, but it wasn't like the old days where it was a cloud or passing it around or hiding. We just enjoyed a joint.
Yeah, I blow smoke at the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the key. You go right there.
And you just keep moving, which we just kept walking the entire time.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I'm not a wrestling fan. A little bit of WrestleMania. I found a new favorite wrestler, Dave. I love this gimmick. Are you familiar with this guy, Joel Henry?
Joel Henry.
Joe Henry.
Oh, Joe Henry. Of course. Yeah. I believe his name. Joe Henry.
Yeah, dude. Big fan now. I like it. When you say his name, he appears, and then he does that.
You like that guy?
I'm all in. New favorite wrestler.
Stanley Mack loves Joe Henry.
Hell yeah, dude. Maybe we can get to a meet and greet, or maybe we could get him on the DMSP.
I mean, in all honesty, that is something that I would like you to do.
Reach out to him?
I think wrestlers are pretty easy to get on.
I hear they're pretty easy to get off, too.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Ew.
We knew what McMahon was doing.
Oh, God. Hey, Brock, who's on that lawsuit, returned last night.
Yeah.
With long hair. It was fantastic.
I heard it was really split the audience. Half the people were like, hell yeah. The other half were like, no, we wanted The Rock.
I was hell yeah. The Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, I think a lot of WWE fans are sour on The Rock because he appears, and it's like when he appears, he causes such a huge plot twist, right? Or such a change in the storyline, but then he disappears. And you're like, well, wait a second. You can't shift the whole storyline and then just disappear. Like, we need you still around now, sir.
He plays like that literary device where you just have a god come in and solve the problem. That's The Rock. He just comes in once every 6 months.
It would be like in Return of the Jedi. The Emperor comes in to turn Luke Skywalker bad, and then he just disappears, and it's bad Luke Skywalker and bad Darth Vader for the rest of the movie. And you're like, what happened to that old guy who shot lightning out of his hands? And is this how it's going to be? Like Luke and Vader are bad guys now?
Did you see Brock's daughter got married?
She looks exactly like Brock.
She looks exactly like Brock. She's a shot put gold medalist already.
She is a world record holder already at shot put. She throws the shot put 9 miles.
And she married an offensive guard in the NFL, Dave. Their kid.
Can you Google image Brock's daughter? Only because it is amazing how much. But consider this. Brock got married to Sable, a very, very attractive, very plastic, but also very attractive woman from the 90s,
Yeah.
Sable?
I do know Sable.
She was a WWE diva.
I remember from the video game you could play as her in a bra and panty match. And I was 14 at the time, and that was just the biggest thing in the world to me.
So before you bought porn, you had to rely on wrestling video games?
Yeah. That wasn't your childhood too?
No.
I got it right here. Hang on.
Sad. Oh my God. People are going to think that's a Photoshop. It's not. It's the same person. People are going to think that's a joke. when you show that photograph of Brock's daughter. No, she is a twin of Brock Lesnar. Wow. Wow. No Sable genes at all. 0% of Sable.
It is crazy how she is just a spitting image of him. But hang on, I got to show you the power couple, Dave. Because these guys, I would like if I could buy stock in a future athlete, it would be their baby.
All right, let's see.
Give me 1 sec.
That's Brock's daughter. Well, she looks nice with her hair down.
That's her and her fiance, who is a starting guard in the NFL, who runs a 4-flat 40 at that size. Dave.
Oh my Lord. They are going to have an 800-pound, 9-foot tall beast baby.
That somehow runs a 4-flat 40 and is just terrifying. Like when other countries threaten the U.S., we should just show them that baby and be like, we will call out Goliath.
I'm happy Brock's back, and I like him with long hair. I think it looks funny.
I've always been a Brock guy. Yeah. I enjoy that kind of thing.
This McMahon lawsuit, I don't know what's ever going to... I'm starting to get a feeling like there will never be a resolution to this Vince McMahon lawsuit. I'm really starting to feel that way. Like I don't think it's ever going to go away. So at a certain point, you just have to kind of like, okay, we have to continue living our lives. And if something happens, something happens.
I think when you're at a certain level of fame like that, you kind of just have to either accept that these kind of things are going to come your way and completely walk away, or just go, we're going to deal with it as it comes and let it proceed. For anybody who was asking,
hey, you have a white background and I have a white background. Just notice that.
It's very interesting. It's almost like we are in the same place and just zoomed in. For anybody asking in the chat, the guy's name is Drew Moss. He plays for the 49ers.
Drew Moss plays for the 49ers, huh?
Yeah.
My God. I'm not trying to get disgusting here, but I mean, it's going to be difficult making a baby between those two, because how is the bed not going to break every time there's parental love?
Oh my God. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude.
They don't have a chance in hell unless they put the mattress right on the floor. That's probably the best bed.
Like a Roman stone bed frame just carved out of the rock itself.
They literally have a bedroom where you walk in and the whole floor is a mattress.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually a bedroom where the whole room is a bed. Even the walls and the ceiling, in case something happens, it's all match. Oh my God. That's a brilliant idea. That's almost as brilliant as Davey Mac's, Jack and Ride Chopper.
That's a very brilliant idea.
Wait a second, Davey Mac bedroom? No one's ever thought of this. The floor, the walls, and the ceiling are all a mattress. It truly is a bedroom.
Okay, that's a psych prison, what you just described.
No, I love this idea. I want one of these in my own house, which doesn't even exist.
Just real quick, Brock Lesnar was at WrestleMania in New Jersey. We know his daughter is dating Drew Moss. Do you think she was also in New Jersey? And if so, was it perhaps not an earthquake, but those two making love that everybody felt?
If Brock was there, yeah, I'd say there's a good chance she was there. And then, I
think we basically solved that one, Dave.
Now, here's something that's kind of crazy. Micah Parsons wants to be traded from the Cowboys. Does this not happen with the Dallas Cowboys every year? At a certain point, I'm starting to feel like I'm watching reruns. Every offseason, there's a Dallas Cowboys star player who wants to get paid a certain salary. Jerry Jones doesn't want to give him that money. And the person says, okay, I want out of here. I want to be traded. Every season, it seems like this. CeeDee Lamb or Dak Prescott or Micah Parsons. It's every year.
They're saying this is Jerry Jones' tactic. Almost like a Glenn Ross style negotiator.
But he always caves in at the end. He always gives them everything that they want.
Which is just terrible business. It would be one thing if he stood on his grounds or if he just gave in right away, but like just pissing off your players.
Maybe that's correlated to the Cowboys underperforming in the regular season the last couple of years. These guys aren't getting their spring, their training camp in. Then they go out and get hurt.
It goes both ways to some extent too, though. Like as much as Jerry Jones is being a prick and stingy with the money, I will say it has gotten to this point where like athletes, and I know guys are getting hurt and their careers aren't forever, but like when I was growing up, there would be these type of negotiations and you would hear the players attending OTAs, the players doing this in good faith. And like now it's the opposite and it's just shooting your career in the foot. Like if you're sitting out, you're not getting those reps, you're going to get hurt. You're not going to be ready for the season. It's hurting the team.
We see it
which
every
just
year.
hurts your legacy.
Once the guy sits out for over a month, he never has a good season. And then oftentimes to compound it negatively, he gets hurt. He wasn't, stretched out. His body was not prepped for the very arduous NFL season. We see it all the time. Anytime some guy sits out, they get hurt or they underperform.
And what's the alternative, or what's the other side of the coin? You see these guys that are willing to take pay cuts, willing to do things like that to keep the good players around them, winning Super Bowl after Super Bowl after. I mean, Brady was notorious for taking pay cuts to get better players on the team to keep
Mahomes
the guys he wanted. And Mahomes, that was my next point. Yeah, those two guys who are now era-defining quarterbacks are willing to do it. Now,
I'll tell you one thing.
Go ahead.
I'm trying not to because I think it's a big mistake on my part, because every sports team that I watch keeps dangling a carrot in front of my face. They can keep getting close, and then they decide to not only take the carrot away, but shove it up my ass. I'm talking the Yankees, who made the World Series last year and then lose crushingly, especially with errors all over the place in Game 5. Follow that up with a debacle season. I'm talking Notre Dame football, who makes a miracle run to the championship game. And just when we think, okay, we can finally win a championship for the first time since the 80s, they get annihilated by Ohio State. I'm talking about the Knicks, who, oh my God, we don't have to, we beat the Celtics. Okay, we don't even have to play the Cleveland Cavs, who are first in the East. We're going to get the Pacers. We're going to beat them this year. And the Knicks choke. They choke. That Game 1 choke job literally lost them the series. Because if they don't choke that Game 1 choke job, there's a Game 7 in Madison Square Garden that they're winning. So that Game 1 choke job. So it's every single team that I'm rooting for. It's not even that they suck. It's that they get so close and then they suck. I'm trying not to get excited for the Giants. I know that they're going to be terrible. I don't believe in Joe Shane, the general manager. I don't believe in Brian Dable, the coach, any longer. But
I don't believe in Joe Shane, but you know who I believe in, Dave?
Who?
Joe Henry.
Okay, there you go. But let me say this. I am starting to get excited for the Giants defense. Not for the offense. I think Russell Wilson, we'll see. Russell Wilson could be okay, and then Russell Wilson could be head-scratchingly bad. And it's the same thing with Jameis Winston. And Jackson Dart is our rookie, who it's a complete unknown. So offensively, I'm not actually that confident. However, I'm looking at this New York Football Giants defense, and I'm going, these guys can be fucking awesome.
They could put something there.
They can be fantastic. This Butler, Robert, from your alma mater, Penn State, this guy, all this guy is doing is making highlights in training camp against veteran offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Spin moves, shoving guys, arm things, just everything. He is constantly getting to the quarterback. Giants are like, oh my God, this guy and Dexter Lawrence are on the same team now. What if the Giants got Micah Parsons and just decide, screw it, let's go for a 1986 Giants defense, LT, Carl Banks, Leonard Marshall, George Martin, so on and so forth.
Now, my only concern with that, I like the idea, is who is he practicing with right now? The Giants.
The Giants, and their offensive line has sucked.
Right. So it's not like he's doing this against the Eagles offensive. You know what I mean? So
fair enough.
Let's pump the brakes with the expectations a little bit on him. But I think if you got Micah Parsons and really had like an interior core like that, that'd be scary.
I mean, if we had Micah Parsons and this Butler, and we have Dexter Lawrence, and there's other good football players on this Giants team. What's his face that we got from the Panthers?
Where did Micah Parsons go to school?
Penn State.
Oh, wait. So they know the same system? They would have... Ooh, daddy, that would be scary.
I've never criticized Penn. We know Penn State produces linebackers.
No, I'm saying like the fact that the linebacker and his D tackle, D end would already have that kind of communication relationship there. Like they know the same signals. They could have their own communication. That would be deadly.
Giants, go for it. Just do it. And I'll tell you what, if Joe Shane got Micah Parsons, I'd get off his back. Because honestly, the Giants scenario is exactly like the Yankees. You have George Steinbrenner, who was a very strong owner who all he cared about was winning championships. He dies, and the son, who is very much a weaker version of his father, is bequeathed the organization. Same thing with the Giants. You had Wellington Mara, who cared about winning championships. He dies. He gives it to John Mara. Very weak. And then on top of that, the weak sons can't fire their weak general managers. Hal Steinbrenner loves Brian Cashman too much. Can't fire him. John Mara apparently loves Joe Shane. Can't fire him. It's the same scenario. I can't believe I'm literally looking at the exact same scenario with two of my teams. But it's the same thing.
It's got to be infuriating.
But if Joe Shane wants me to get off his back, if he wants Giants fans to be like, okay, you know what, Shane, we're not, going to be here with pitchforks to get you out of the state of New Jersey. If he could ever get a Micah Parsons, this Giants defense would be ridiculous. Do you know how good this Giants defense would be? They might only need to score 10 points a game.
And they could do that. Even with Jameis Winston, because he'll turn the ball over, but the defense will get it back.
This is my point.
Now, I actually think the Giants do have a chance this year. And we talked a little bit last week. I think the Jackson Dart situation, he's actually in good hands between those two in the locker room, Winston and Russell. Like, Russell can teach him how to be a quarterback. Winston can teach him how to be a leader. But the best omen is one of these popular sports TikTokers, Dave, who's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, went on and predicted the Giants were going to go 0-17 this season. And he broke down every game and why he thought they were going to go 0-17. And it feels just like whenever things like that happen, that team takes it personally.
Who is the person who said this?
I don't know his name. He's the guy who wears the old school Pittsburgh Steelers helmet. It's been like a viral thing because everybody who's a Giants fan is getting mad. But I think this may have been like the locker room material to just that little bit to put him over the edge. Because
strange for a Steelers person to do that, because the Giants and Steelers organizations are simpatico. As everyone who actually watches football should know, if you're a Giants fan and a Steelers fan and you don't know that the Maras and the Rooneys have had a very strong, tight connection for 50 years. They're both Irish Catholic, families.
Like the hoodies and the tutus.
I mean, that's a weird thing that the Steelers guy wants to take. Why wouldn't he look at his own division with the Ravens and, the Browns and the Bengals?
I mean, I think he was breaking down every team. That was just his analysis of this. Fine. But it almost is like a bitter ex-girlfriend who sees you with a new man. Because who did Russell play for last year? Oh, yeah.
Played for the Steelers. I don't think Steelers fans, though, are upset that Russell Wilson is gone from their team.
I mean, I wouldn't be.
They replaced Russell Wilson with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I don't know if Rodgers is going to play well, but he's a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. And finally,
here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
Khabib, the UFC legendary fighter who retired undefeated. Of course, most famously known for defeating Conor McGregor. And then jumping out of the octagon, starting a riot, a brawl with McGregor's people. That whole scene was so insane, so incredible to watch. Well, Khabib now is actually talking about Conor McGregor and says he is hoping Conor McGregor changes his ways and his life and gets back to fighting. Khabib believes McGregor would inspire others. What do you think about this? This is an odd thing, just out of the blue from Khabib to be talking like this.
It is. I tend to be critical of the Muslim faith, but I do think that is a principle of it and that Khabib truly believes in the principles of that faith. He stays strict to it. And one of those things is forgiveness and the idea of changing your life and bettering yourself. And I think if you look at Khabib and the people he trains, what he does is he makes them put all their negative emotion and everything into fighting and live their lives in a good, peaceful way. And I think he's saying if you could be almost like a modern day Paul, where you were this guy who was leading this crazy lifestyle. You had all these opportunities that went away. You found your roots again. You got back. That's a story everybody loves to hear. I mean, that's Rocky 3.
That's
right?
true.
Rocky gets too famous. And I think
McGregor's only 37 years old. It's not too late. He could have a good few fights left in him. I don't know if he's going to win a championship, but at least get yourself a few really good fights and don't destroy your whole legacy of, hey, he was great for 10 years and then it was nonsense for 10 years.
And I think that's kind of what Khabib was saying. There are a lot of parallels too to the Frazier situation.
I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
Frazier situation where all he went and asked for forgiveness in the end. And like those two guys who were bitter enemies, everybody thought he was going to ask for the fight, but he was just like, no, I want you to forgive me. And they ended up learning from each other, even though they were two distinct, different personalities. And I do think that is kind of the one thing missing from the UFC. Like you don't see that with Cormier and Jones becoming friends in the end. You don't see these bitter rivals going back and becoming friends. And if you did, it would be good for the sport. It wouldn't be just the bloody guys anymore. It would be exactly what it's supposed to be.
Discussed with you for the last 2 or 3 years, I've gotten into the UFC. It's funny. I got into the UFC at the exact moment where people are telling me, oh, the UFC sucks now. At the exact moment, at the exact time that where I'm hearing, Ari Helwani and others, oh, there's, UFC's terrible. I'm like, kind of weird. I just got into it. It's fine for me.
If you agree that this should happen and McGregor should change his life, we are seeing some requests in the chat that perhaps someone from beyond the grave who could, someone who had passed away could come back and perhaps give McGregor some advice.
Ooh, who would that be?
They want you to do Earl's dead grandmother. Telling
McGregor Earl's dead grandmother? Why would you to fight?
No, they want McGregor to change your ways. Like you'll end up down here like me if you don't.
Conor McGregor. Conor. This is Earl's dead grandmother down here in hell. And here's the thing, Conor. If you don't start changing your behavior, honey, you're going to wind down here 69 in Pol Pot, just like I have to do every Tuesday night after bingo, baby. Conor, baby, one of the negative aspects of hell is that you get used as finger cuffs by really demonic people. For instance, the other day, I had Charlie Manson's dick in my ass and Jeffrey Dahmer's dick in my mouth. Now, while I'm swallowing that Dahmer hog, I said, Jeffrey, this is inappropriate. As far as I knew, you were gay. You know what Jeffrey Dahmer told me? It's hell, Earl's dead grandmother. We can do anything down here, baby. And then the strangest thing happened, Bobby. You know what happened, Bobby? He climaxed. Jeffrey Dahmer climaxed in my mouth, baby.
Oh, Jesus.
Down in hell, your jizz is just a stream of thumbtacks. So it's like, a punishment. I was looking forward to getting that salty, sweetie, beautiful protein from Jeffrey. But instead, when he shoots the jizz, it's just a whole stream of thumbtacks comes into your mouth. Well, that's hell, Bobby. That what hell's like.
Painful. Is it painful for him coming out?
It's painful for him, too. He's getting punished, too, for all the mischief he did,
Then why would he want to fuck?
Specifically sticking it into brown boys' butts while he would cook their brains.
I mean,
Earl, is that you?
No, it's Conor McGregor.
Oh, Earl, can you turn the thermostat down a little bit, honey? It's very warm down here, baby. I know that's something that you're very good at, adjusting the lights and the thermostat and the music. That was your job at Hard Rock, right, baby?
Setting the vibe of hell, Earl.
You were the vibe manager. That's what you were, Earl. And the vibe that you set every single day was very sleepy, very lazy. Very sleepy, lazy vibe. That's the Earl Douglas vibe that gets set at the Hard Rock Cafe.
And in every aspect of his life, it seems like.
Anyway, I gotta go. Connor, you behave, baby. Otherwise, you're gonna end up down here with me, Earl's dead grandmother. Bye, baby. Bye, Earl.
Bye.
All right, well, that was odd.
That was. It felt like she more had messages for Earl about sex than advice for McGregor, but I bet you he knows what it means. It's like one of those things. Only you know what God means.
Well, Robert, that'll do it. We had a wonderful show.
Ooh, Dave, before we get out of here, we are the #1 destination for WNBA news.
Okay.
And I just was quick and curious on your thoughts about Dildo Gate.
Oh, yeah. They threw a dildo on the court, a blue dildo.
And a green dildo. It is now a running trend. It is now a bettable event. What color? What quarter? What size?
All I can tell you is that it just brought back a memory from the fact that in high school, my friend Tim, I cannot say his last name,
Sabian.
But Tim, during CBA Lakewood Jersey Shore championship game, tournament, Jersey Shore tournament championship game, when a Lakewood guy was at the free throw line, my friend Tim did throw out a dildo onto the court. This is so he was years ahead of his time. This is like 96.
Wow. We would always do it at hockey games. Dildos and blown up sex dolls.
But it is funny that the WNBA, they're so cute. They're so adorable. They're learning about sports behavior for the first time. They still don't understand how much of a Mickey Mouse non-league they've been for the last 30 years. They're now discovering that when you're in big time American professional sports, it can be awesome and it can be a little rough.
I can't wait till they hit the streaker era. See how those broads handle that.
But with the WNBA, shouldn't they be throwing out more like pocket pussies? Zing. All right. Lesbians. Get it?
I get it. Oh.
All right, Robert, that's going to do it. I don't want any kind of nonsense. We have some things to do. Roy Harter will be back next week. He has assured us, unless he's dead in a jungle in Central America. All of these are very distinct possibilities, folks.
That's the Roy Harter way.
Yeah. We want you to be paying attention to the Eastside Davidson Wrestling Show, new episode of the SummerSlam. Check it out. Even though it happened, you'll see how many stuff we got right. Stanley Mac called Saturday night perfectly. Everything that happened on Saturday night, Stanley Mac called on the show. So Eastside Davidson Wrestling Show, the Modern Day Man with
Big
myself, Aaron Berg, Bobby producing. Make sure you're checking that out, subscribing. Just subscribe to everything, share everything, be positive. Make sure you tell people, hey, check this out and leave a thumbs up and leave a good review and leave something. Hey, this show rocks, or so on and so forth. Okay, that's it for me. Plugs for you.
October 11th, I already told the people while you were away, I'll be in Columbus with Aaron Berg. And any other dates, check me out at Bobby Tamburro across the social media. On that note, this was a great episode, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, hey, all the Eastside Davidians out there, thank you for the support. It's just a fun little thank you for the support throughout the years. Nothing behind it. I'm just feeling rather magnanimous. Okay, maybe it's the post-glow of SummerSlam. Thank you for all the support throughout the years. For Robert Tamburro, for Roy Harter, for Eastside Dave McDonald, it's the Davey Mac Sports Program. Good night, everybody.